In this example, we need to subtract the radical expressions. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this first radical as the quotient of two separate radicals. So this is going to become the square root of 20b to the fifth power over square root 49. And then I have minus 2b squared square root 45b. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start simplifying all of my radical expressions. So if you look here, this 49, that can be simplified. The square root of 49 is 7. 20 can be broken up as 4 times 5. 45 can be broken up as 9 times 5. So this 20b to the fifth is going to become 4 times 5b to the fifth, all over square root of 49, which is 7, minus 2b squared, and I'm going to rewrite 45 as 9 times 5. So that becomes 9 times 5b. Now, the reason why I chose to factor the number 20 and the number 45 the way I did is because I now have perfect squares. And those perfect squares can be simplified, and we can simplify those radicals. Okay. All right. So the square root of 4 is 2. So there's going to be a 2 on the outside of that radical. Now, I have b to the fifth under the square root sign. Okay, let's go over here and let's do this kind of off to the side so you can see where I'm coming from with this. So I have b to the fifth under the square root sign. So you probably remember this trick before that we've learned in this chapter for how to simplify radicals such as this. Remember, our index here is a 2. Even though we don't see it in the square root, it's implied that it's a 2. So you take the power of the radicand, so that's 5, divide that by the index, which is 2. So if I do 5 divided by 2, 2 goes into 5 2 times with a remainder of 1. So what that means is that I can bring out b squared, but b to the first power has to stay underneath the radical sign. So the quotient becomes the power that you can simplify and take out of the radical sign, and the remainder becomes the power on the radicand that has to stay underneath the radical sign. Okay, so let's go back over here. So this is going to become 2b squared times the square root of what's left over, which is 5b. Okay, because the 5 is not a perfect square, and then there's 1 power of b left over. And this is all over 7. Okay, then I'm going to get minus 2b squared, but I'm going to multiply that by whatever I can simplify out of this next radical. 9 is a perfect square, so that simplifies as 3, but underneath the radical sign, 5b remains as the radicand, because 5 is not a perfect square, b is not a perfect square, so that doesn't change. Okay, so I have 2b squared times the square root 5b all over 7 minus, now let's simplify here, 2b squared times 3 is 6b squared times square root of 5b. So what I have here are like radicands, or like radicals, I should have said. I have like radicals. I have the square root of 5b. So what I need to do is I need to combine like terms. But the problem is this first term has a denominator of 7, whereas this second term does not have a denominator of 7. So I'm going to write it as having a denominator of 1. So in order to combine like terms, I need these to have a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply that second fraction by 7 over 7. All right, so I have 2b squared times the square root 5b over 7. That doesn't change. But now this becomes minus 42b squared times the square root of 5b all over 7. So what I had to do here was I had to multiply that 7 times the 6 and that 7 times the 1. Now I am ready to combine like terms. So what I have to do is 2b squared over 7 minus 42b squared over 7. And the answer is going to be the new coefficient of my radical, which is the square root of 5b. So let's put this all into one fraction, because sometimes that helps as well. So let's kind of go up here and make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is going to now become 2b squared times square root of 5b minus 42b squared times square root of 5b, and this is all over 7 because they had a common denominator, so I was able to put it all in one numerator over 7. So now I have like radicals. I still have my like radicals, square root of 5b. So now I have 2b squared minus 42b squared, which is going to be negative 40b squared times square root of 5b and all over 7. And since 40 does not have a factor of 7, I cannot simplify this fraction any further. So this is my final answer.